G'day guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel 1 week after my last video. Today we're going to be talking about 10 pieces of sim racing hardware that you should avoid buying. Before we get started, I just want to say this is of course my opinion, and you know what people say about opinions. Daniel Grays is the best, and you should listen to him no matter what, and if you disagree, you're wrong. Let's get started. The first one I want to talk about today is one that frustrates me so much, and I'll explain why in a second. Custom wheel rims for Logitech G29 / any of the Logitech budget wheels. Here's why it annoys me. Point number one, it ruins your warranty. They're not official, they're third party. Point number two, they're cheap wheel rims. They're not good quality wheel rims. Point number three, they cost hundreds of dollars for the most part. Granted, you can get some cheap ones, but that is money that you could be putting towards an actual sim upgrade, like load cell pedals, that's going to make you faster, a DD that's going to make you more consistent. And the fourth point why this annoys me is that most of these wheel rims are way heavier than the stock wheel rim. And the Logitech G29 is a 2 Nm wheel, meaning it doesn't have a whole lot of force feedback coming out of it. So you want the lightest possible wheel rim in order for the wheel to give you the most responsive and fast force feedback, so the motor doesn't need to work to move a heavier wheel. So you're literally spending a bunch of money you could spend on another upgrade to dull your force feedback. I don't get this one at all. I swear I'm not just saying this because one of these products concussed me earlier in the year, but folding sim rigs. Now, I know this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, and in principle, folding sim rigs seem great. You fold them up, you put them away, you unfold them when you need them. For a sim racer who lives in an apartment, has less space, they seem like a great idea. However, in reality, folding sim rigs, whether it be the Next Level Racing one or the Playseat one or any other company that makes them, but I don't know of any, they are a ginormous hassle to fold and unfold. And if you own one and you're watching this video, comment below. I bet you're in this class of people. If you own a folding sim rig, you never fold it up. You just leave it unfolded, like at your desk, or like you maybe move it unfolded, but you never actually fold it anyway. And if you do fold it, you put it away in the cupboard and you never get it out because it's such a hassle to get out. On top of that, these rigs have so much flex in them, they might as well be like a TikToker who just made their first $1 million. They're just not as good as wheel stands. When you can get a wheel stand that's going to be more sturdy, you can just move it out of the way and it's going to have a way smaller footprint. I just don't think folding rigs are ever the best option. This third one is a little bit different in that it is an entire brand, but I think the entire brand of Playseat should be avoided for any hardcore or even casual sim racers, and here's why. Their high-end products are pretty good. They're not bad, but they're like 3 to 4 times the cost of SimLab products, ASR products, Next Level Racing products, Track Racer products. They're going to be more customizable, 80/20 rigs, more sturdy, better products. And then when it comes to their low-end products, you've got the folding sim rig, which we just talked about. The Playseat Evolution, this rig is evil. The pedal deck flexes, it's got a center post, the entire rig kind of flexes up when you brake. These things are horrible. I don't understand how they're still selling them. They sold these things like 20 years ago and they're still selling them today, the exact same design. Basically, you can always find a better product for less money than a Playseat. Unless you're getting something really cheap on like Facebook Marketplace or something, I think the entire brand should be avoided. Plus, they make whatever this is. This next one is a rig that was really popular years ago, but heaps of people are still buying them today. The Next Level Racing F-GT Sim Rig. And furthermore, rigs in general that can be changed from Formula to GT position. The thing about these rigs are that changing them from Formula to GT is such a pain that, again, you're never going to do it. And you're either going to choose Formula or GT depending on what you want. This is a personal opinion, but I have no idea why you would ever pick Formula position. Like, you're in like the birthing position while sim racing. Like, looking at the sky. I don't get it. But nonetheless, that's a personal opinion. But these rigs that change back and forth, you're paying extra money for a feature you're never really going to use. But this particular rig, the FGT from NLR, the seat on it, every person I've ever known who has ever owned this sim rig, including myself who has tried this sim rig, the seat is horrific. It is so thin, it'll cause you back pain, it flexes, it is horrible. And then the rig itself also has a fair bit of flex in the wheel and pedal deck. Honestly, this one is just an all-round avoid. Now, you personally might own this next product and totally disagree with me on this one, and honestly, that is completely valid. But I think you should avoid the track racer, GT, and rally style seats. I myself had a GT style seat and it would hurt my back. It would literally radiate up my back every time I sit up. And I stream on Twitch every day and I have so many viewers who have shared that same experience. I will say though, seats are completely personal preference, and for your body, it might be amazing. And that's the thing with sim seats. Like, I love this one, but for you, you might hate it. But the track racer, GT, and rally style seats, unless you can try one in real life for an extended period of time, I would say these are typically products to avoid, just because I have heard so many viewers have the exact same experience I did, where the cushioning itself would just hurt your butt and radiate up your back. So I think this product is probably an avoid unless you can try it. With the caveat being though, seats are totally personal preference somewhat for your body. So if you have one of these and you like it, actually let me know in the comments below, because I don't hear that a lot from my viewers, but I'd be really curious to hear. This next one, I honestly ummed and ahed even including in the video, but integrated monitor stands. The thing is, these have gotten really good in recent years, but at the end of the day, if space isn't an issue for you, if you've got the space to have a floor-based monitor stand, that's always going to be the better option. Having your monitors attached to your sim rig, where obviously there's going to be a lot of vibrations from the wheel and the force feedback, is less than optimal. And although these have gotten way sturdier and way better now, if possible, if you've got the space, definitely go a floor-mounted monitor stand that doesn't connect to your sim rig, if possible. High-end Thrustmaster non-direct drive wheels. Now, this is kind of an obvious one, I guess, because direct drive wheels are getting so cheap now that it just can't be justified to buy like a high-end belt-driven wheel anymore when there's so much competition in the DD space. And obviously, DDs are going to give you force feedback that is smoother, quicker, cleaner than a belt-driven wheel. Honestly, if you're going to buy Thrustmaster, the T150 and T300 at the bottom are really good options to get into sim racing, and then the Thurstmaster DD is obviously a direct drive wheel, so it's not applicable here. But any of the high-end Thrustmaster wheels that aren't DDs are definitely things you should avoid when spending money on a DD will cost you less for a better product. However, this brings us into our next category of things you should avoid, which are things that aren't necessarily bad. They're actually quite good, but they're so expensive that there's always a better option and you should avoid them. Couldn't think of a better name. Which then brings us to the Thurstmaster DD. There's nothing wrong with the Thurstmaster DD. It is a good product. It's a good DD, it's fine. And if you're in the Thrustmaster ecosystem, you really want to stay there, you've got the Ferrari wheel with the screen, it could be a good purchase. However, the Logitech DD, which itself isn't even that well priced, is still cheaper than it. A SimMagic Alpha Mini, which is, in my opinion, a better wheel, is way cheaper than it. I just think at this point, the Thrustmaster DD has kind of priced itself out of the market. Considering in Australia at least, a VRS DD is $100 more. It just feels like there's no spot in the market to buy a Thrustmaster DD. Our next product in this category is the VRS Wheel Rim. And I guess this one disappointed a lot of sim racers because with the VRS DD being such a cheap option for what you get, I think we all expected VRS to knock it out of the park with a cheap wheel rim that was good quality and got the job done. In reality, what we got was not a bad wheel rim, it's really good, but for the price when compared to the GSI X29 rim or some Cube Controller Asher options, they've just completely priced themselves out. It's a wheel that doesn't have LEDs, it doesn't have a screen. I don't like wheels with screens anyway, but again, personal opinion. And it's a very basic wheel for the price that you pay. So I really think that the VRS Wheel Rim is probably an avoid unless you really want a wheel that matches your wheelbase, or there's something on that wheel that you just really like the aesthetics of. But in general, with other options from GSI, Asher, Cube, as I said, it's just not worth buying the VRS Wheel Rim. And our last one in this category, which I think is the silliest one of all, I don't get why anyone buys this, is real car rims that are designed for sim racing. Things like the new Cosworth wheel, which is $8,000. And I get that it's in a wheel, like it's the same wheel that's in a real car. But I don't know about you, I don't see myself needing to get off my sim rig and into my LMP2 that quickly that I couldn't buy 2 steering wheels. You know, I don't see myself owning an LMP2. I just don't get this one. I guess some people really want real car products, but when you can get amazing wheel rims from Cube Controls, Asher, GSI, so many incredible companies, why would you spend literally 10 times, 5 times the price on the Cosworth rim or the Fanatec BMW rim, which is a super basic rim, but it goes in a real car? I think all of these rims are just completely ridiculous, but at the same time, that's my opinion. And if you want a product that goes in a real car, I guess that's fine. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Quick reminder, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch, so if you have any questions or you just want to hang out, the link is in the description below. Otherwise, please subscribe, please like. There should be a video every week. There will be one next week. I swear on Charles the Penguin's life, there'll be a video next week. See you next time. Bye.